Let's talk about Kansas and Kansas State. The Sunflower Showdown, Saturday night, ESPN2 in prime time. Looking at the Wager Talk free live odds screen right now. We're seeing Kansas State mostly -10. There are some 9.5s out there. Total sitting 55.5 at most book. The Jayhawks come into this game 2-5 straight up, 1-6 against the spread. We have to call them one of the more disappointing teams in college football. Lance Leipold, yeah, he's a genius. He's a genius. Well, this year we're not hearing his name bandied about nearly as much. That being said, Kansas is coming off, I would say, by far their best game of the season, 48-14 against Houston last week. They were -5 in that game and won by 34 points. They got 220 on the ground, 247 through the air. We like the 200 rushing, 200 passing yards teams. Those are the teams whose offenses are clicking. Those are the teams that we trust to bet on, especially the underdog role. We also like the fact Kansas had 6 sacks last week. We like teams with a pass rush. And it's also worth noting that of their 5 losses, 4 of them have come by 1 score. Illinois, West Virginia, Arizona State, UNLV. All good teams, all competitive games. That being said, Kansas State, 6-1 straight up, but only 3-4 ATS. When we look closer, though, you say they were on the wrong end of a couple of tough decisions. They were -3.5 against Colorado. They won by only 3 on the road against a Buffs team that's better than expected. They won by 37. They were -37 week 1. They won by only 35. At home, they blew out Arizona 31-7. They blew out Oklahoma State 42-20. And, of course, that opening day win by 35. Last week, they throttled West Virginia. Though 3 or 4 West Virginia losses have been by double digits, they do get throttled when they get beat. But the Mountaineers, more first downs in that game, but no quarterback. Kansas has a quarterback. Jalon Daniels' numbers, not as good as they were last year. Already more interceptions than the last 2 years combined and more sacks than last year. So much for being healthy this time around. He is coming off his best game of the year, but I'm telling you, all these points for Kansas, I'm still not getting the winner with Kansas with this game. Why? This is a series history that we have to pay attention to. Kansas State is the better of these 2 teams this year. All right. Kansas covered +7 last year. The previous 4 years, it was all 20-plus point Wildcats wins. Back in the day, Bill Snyder made it a point. When he could, punching an extra touchdown against Kansas, he did. We've seen the same thing from Chris Kleeman over the years. Wildcats 5-0 straight up under Kleeman, and 4 of those 5 wins. I know Kansas covered +7 last year. The previous 4 were all 20-plus point Wildcat wins and covers. Kleeman's not screwing around. If I'm playing, I'm laying Kansas State minus the points on Saturday night. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the follows. We appreciate the comments. Thanks for watching.